So Fastlane has come and gone, and we are officially on the final road to WrestleMania, and it's going to be a long video when that video happens. Um, Surprisingly, this was the most predictable pay-per-view, except for one match, which I will get into in a minute. Um, it was to be expected. Like this is considered the it's the match before it's the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, so who cares? There's nothing really big gonna happen. They're going to be playing it safe. They don't do shock value on here. So the pre-show kicked off, blah blah blah, etc. Talking, building up, all this, and I'm trying to wonder why this lasts for an hour instead of 30 minutes. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which should have been on the main show considering what happened later on in the night and the time and the not so time constraints since there was like 20 minutes left until the 11 o'clock deadline. So why wasn't this match put on the show? No, no reason. So Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio, this was possibly their best match together out of the numerous matches they've had during all of January. It wasn't filled with as much botches as the Royal Rumble, and it lasted a lot longer than it had any right to be in the first two matches they had. But Kalisto and Del Rio put on one good show. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Alberto Del Rio got himself disqualified the first round, then did a kick. I was having network issues with my Apple TV because my internet is right now messed up right now. So I think it was a kick to the head and the pinfall after that. And then it was Kalisto 1 to Del Rio 1, and Kalisto got the win in a roll up. Surprised they didn't let him do a clean finish. Like, it almost looks like they're building up another Del Rio Kalisto match. If they do that, I'm going to cringe and complain online. Now, the match was just good. Like, it was their best match to date with each other, and that's pretty much it. Um, Nothing really special here. Just glad Kalisto won the match and carries on the U.S. title. I'm curious to know if they're going to do Sin Cara versus Kalisto, considering that on the Cutting Edge Peeps show, which I will get in thorough detail in a bit, didn't really mention them as the Lucha Dragons. Like, are they building up Kalisto versus Sin Cara? That would be an interesting tidbit. So, an interesting match. So, we'll see. The opening match of the show was Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks versus Team Bad of Naomi and Tamina. Surprised that Cameron hasn't come back yet, since Cameron is on the main roster again, according to reports, and she's been hanging out with Naomi and Tamina, and they've been hinting at a reunification. So Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, they started having issues right from the get go, and yeah, I kind of saw where this was going a mile away. Becky Lynch and Sasha, they're going to have problems. They're not going to see eye to eye, but ultimately they're going to win and all that. And luckily they did it in a very, almost like the beginning of the Divas Revolution angle, where they put when they put the Divas into submissions. Oh, wait, women wrestlers, put them in their respective finishers, the bank statement and the, um, man, I can't remember Becky Lynch's finisher, armbar. Sorry. Um, and the match was alright. Like, it was 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Like, what are you going to make out of that? So, nothing really much to be invested in for that long. And really, the main focus was mainly Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, not Naomi and Tamina. Like, they were just there to put over those two for their big triple threat match at WrestleMania, as it was reported. What surprised me a bit was how it didn't end with Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch attacking one another after the show. Like, they beat them, the alliance is over, so why not just do a DDT or something like that and just do that? Get it over with. Surprised they didn't do that, and was kind of disappointing. It just ended a little awkwardly for me on that. Now we get to what I consider to be the first best match of the night, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. This was possibly their best match together since December, and that's saying a lot. And this was during Intercontinental Reign's first reign Sorry, Kevin Owens just first reign as Intercontinental Champion. Um, yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens, they put on a heck of a match, and I was wondering, are they going to steal the show? I really hope they steal the show. I'm like, there's still AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, so we'll see in a bit. So, that match was awesome. Super kicks all around. I'm losing value in the super kicks. Like, it's just, well, it's not just a super kick. It's not like special anymore. They've overused it. Like if Shawn Michaels was to do it, it would still be kind of cool because it's Shawn Michaels, but it wouldn't really have that impactfulness now since it's been so overdone by Del Rio, by Ziggler, by Owens, by Rollins, by all these different technical wrestlers that WWE just said, fuck it, let's just let them do it. And there we go. Kevin Owens beat Dolph Ziggler clean because Kevin Owens once again is cool like that, and it continues to show why he's the coolest heel in WWE right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Kevin Owens is just so cool. Like I know people are going to complain, oh, where's the character development and whatnot, and like they have done character development, but mostly him acting like a badass while having an attitude is enough character for me on that. And that's very hilarious to see him go crazy, go maniacal, go, this town loves me more than you, and whatnot. And it's just so fun to see Kevin Owens. Like, I can't help but wanting to see, huh, I want to hang out with that guy. He seems cool. And every time he gets to the commentary table and bullies Michael Cole, I'm waiting. Please, Vince, if you have any brains left in that old head of yours, please do a WrestleMania moment where Kevin Owens powerbombs Michael Cole. That would be awesome, please. Like, powerbomb him, I don't care if he has to lose the Intercontinental belt. Like, that's a WrestleMania moment. Like, everyone's going to be cheering the hell out of that. It's just going to be magical for that. It will just be magical just to see Michael Cole get beaten up because it's Michael Cole. No one likes him. Considering how he's been told to be very bland and boring and non-inventive and non-engaging into the matches thanks to Vince McMahon's restrictions. Now we get on to a match that surprised me how it ended. The Titans of WWE, as the commentators like to call them, Big Show, Kane, and Ryback versus the Wyatt family of Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. I was expecting the Wyatt family to win. Like, they're building up Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt. They're going to take out the Titans. So, Brock Lesnar's a Titan, so we'll be seeing that later. And I'll get to that main event in a bit. And why did Big Show, Kane, and Ryback win? No, I'm really serious here. Why did they win? Like, okay, I get the plan was Braun Strowman versus Big Show, and then that got changed to a six-man tag team match to better protect Braun Strowman, but why had the Wyatt family lose that match? Like, isn't that contradictory to your plans? I know you didn't give Braun Strowman the fall here, and I know you didn't let him be the one that gets pinned, but why do that to your most talented guy, Luke Harper? Like, next to Bray Wyatt, he's the most talented guy on the talented big guy. And reminds me a bit of The Undertaker with that kind of athleticism. But why do the match have to be like that? Like, why did the match, I wasn't expecting the greatest six-man tag team match. That still belongs to the Shield and the Wyatt family fight. My God, that was magical. So magical. Elimination Chamber 2014. Man, I'll never forget that match. Oh, man. But why was the Titans of WWE the victors here? Like, I was honestly expecting them to lose. Like, that was the whole plan, I bet. And then it just happened at the last minute, pretty much. Like, I think it was reported that Kevin Dunn loves Big Show, Kane, and Ryback because, well, the other three guys are not NXT guys, therefore they're going to be discriminated against because Kevin Dunn hates them because they're Triple H guys, and because he hates Triple H, that means he has to make everyone else suffer for this. And now I'm wondering, are they building Braun Strowman up, or did they cancel that whole plan because WWE fans did not want Braun Strowman to take on The Undertaker, and then WWE just said, fuck it, let's just give up on him already? Even though you could have him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, though I already have a planned argument about that for Mark Henry, so yeah, like, why not just let Luke Harper and Eric Rowan get the win? So, nothing special in that tag team match. It was, and they didn't even hype up that Braun Strowman was once again off his feet and was on the ground. So, that kind of shows, yeah, his push is dead. In my eyes, at least. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. They were just treated as an afterthought. Now, Brie Bella versus Charlotte. I was very worried that they were going to have Brie Bella win the match at times, because I didn't want her to win, because she would just be winning because it's Daniel Bryan's wife, and therefore it's not really special and politicking back there. And plus, yeah, it's not really, like, I'm not interested in her. Like, I'm more interested in Charlotte, even though she's overusing Ric Flair in her management style. And they kind of bastardize her for all purposes, in my view. So the match they had, like, Brie Bella was wearing Daniel Bryan's knee pads, or was it, or boots, wrestling boots on, and I was like, okay, that's a nice touch, but why? Like, why is she wearing those? In honor of Daniel Bryan? Okay. Like, they don't go well on her. Like, I was expecting something to go wrong with those boots on her. So, and what a surprise, something went wrong. Like, she may have injured her leg, though that might have been a storyline, and they might have been an Achilles heel for her, and yeah, it just sucked all around. And once again, Ric Flair is freaking overexposed on this. Like, Charlotte's not really being the focus here, it's really Ric Flair being the focus. And yeah, there's no point in being invested in Charlotte if Ric Flair's just going to steal the spotlight. I don't know if Ric Flair's doing that on purpose, or management just doesn't know what to do because they don't care, because they don't watch NXT. They don't know what made Charlotte so popular. They think, oh, she's the daughter of Ric Flair, that's popular enough. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I was really glad Charlotte won, but it might have been for the wrong reasons. I just didn't want to see Brie Bella win and all that. So, yeah, and oh man. Ugh. And once again, they didn't do another tease of Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and Charlotte at WrestleMania, since that's the clear plan. They didn't do a tease on that. I was really hoping they do a tease. So, yeah. And once again, this pay-per-view is kind of filled with some disappointments. Now we get to the other best match of the night. AJ Styles versus Y2J, Chris Jericho. And this was their best match to date with each other. Well, maybe their match on SmackDown's debatable, but this was their best match. But, like, yeah, this was awesome. This match was great. High-flying maneuvers. AJ Styles was dominating. Chris Jericho was dominating. They were just trading finishers. And I'm kind of now getting a little bit worried because they might be bringing back the multiple finishers in a match again, like they did with John Cena's US title reign. I'm not against that, but like I understood why a lot of people didn't like that, because it lessened the value of the finisher, since it's called a finisher. But now it looked more like, okay, well, let's just overuse these finishers and see if that's high ratings. So AJ Styles did the Styles Clash. Jericho kicked out. Codebreaker. AJ Styles got out of the ring. The Walls of Jericho twice. So I'm getting worried that they might bring back the multiple finishers on that. So overexposing it. So yeah, Chris Jericho and AJ Styles tore the house down. They have to compete with Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler to determine which match was the best match at Fastlane. I'm gonna go with AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, because it's AJ Styles. Don't question it. And while I want to also say Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is just cool. Chris Jericho did a line in the show that I'm pretty sure he's going to get fined for. Because this is WWE and political correctness is our way. Jericho called Styles a stupid SOB. Oh boy. I wonder what Vince will do to Chris Jericho for that. Like he charged him $500,000 for the bleeding incident on a live house show with Batista a few years back. Like it was 8 years ago, I think. To say, yeah, the PG era is here, the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression era is dead. And you saw what happened to Titus, like tangent here. But Vince wanted to fire Titus. Triple H and Joey Mercury talked him out of it, and Titus was also fined $5,000. So, and that was just for grabbing Vince's arm, as Titus said was an act of chivalry. So, just cursing on TV, on global television, yeah, I'm pretty sure Jericho's gonna get in trouble with management. Like, they already took away his right to speak freely since the Rudy Tooty Booty thing, and everyone doesn't believe that Jericho really meant what he said. It probably has to do with what Jericho saying that WWE wrestlers should go off script. Not a pretty good idea to speak when you're on your way to return. So then we get to the Cutting Edge Peep Show, which, you know what, it's pretty forgettable. Like, there's nothing really special going on. Like, I was expecting a match with the New Day versus another group of guys who come out, or I was expecting Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, Big C, as I like to refer to him as, come out and throw the New Day out of the ring, and we get a challenge for WrestleMania. The one thing that struck me a little bit this here is that the New Day didn't reference the Lucha Dragons. Like, they mentioned the Ascension, because God knows they're very relevant right now. They mentioned the Dudley Boys. They mentioned the Usos. But they didn't mention the Lucha Dragons. And like I said in my Kalisto part of the video here, are they hinting that Sin Cara and Kalisto are breaking apart and they're going to do a match at WrestleMania? Because that would actually be kind of cool, though that already weakens the tag team division enough as it is. So, yeah, are they breaking up? Are they hinting at it? We'll never know. And instead, the New Day mocked the League of Nations, and I couldn't believe it, but like the League of Nations just got more. Oh, they still exist? Okay. Who are they again? Rusev, Sheamus, Wade Barrett. Oh, wait, he's leaving soon, so we can't count him. And Sheamus, was it? Alberto Del Rio. Didn't he lose a match tonight? Oh, yeah, that's right. He lost on the pre-show. He was relegated to pre-show. Even though there was another worse match that was really, really, really pointless and came out of nowhere. Was ultimately pointless. I'll get to that in a bit. Why was this angle happening? Like, this should have been expected. Like this should have been either on the pre-show or like the beginning of the show. Like, they did this with Survivor Series back in 2014 with Triple H, The Authority, and John Cena opening the show. And they did that in Night Champion, so why couldn't they do it here or put it on the pre-show? But there was already something on the show that really should have been on the pre-show because no one would have cared and would have skipped it. And instead, we had to waste our hard-earned money to watch this for some strange reason because they think this is gold. No pun intended. So, the New Day, did they turn face? If they did, I'm expecting a disaster because everything that made them cool and entertaining will be taken away from them and they'll be forced to be stereotypes again. And, like, did they turn face? And they just basically had called this show a shameless plug-in for their show that airs after Fastlane. I'm pretty sure it's over by now at the time of this video I was making it. So, really, this whole segment was pretty pointless. No Enzo Amore or Colin Cassidy. No tag team match. No nothing. It was just pointless and only further humiliated the League of Nations, and they already got screwed over enough as it is by incompetent management. Now let's get to the most pointless match that should have been relegated to pre-show because it was pretty pointless. Curtis Axel of the Social Outcasts versus R-Truth in the second to last match of the show. Do you know how hard that was hard to say without me laughing? Because that was really hard to say. You heard me. To those who have not watched the show, you can see on the WWE Network for just $9.99. Curtis Axel and R-Truth were the second to last match of the show. And they only lasted for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Why? Oh, for Golden Truth segment. That was the plan. Like, you couldn't have done a segment outside the show, or better yet, I'll get to the R-Truth comedy gig they could have went with. That would have been the ultimate R-Truth comedy gig. But this match was ultimately pointless. The worst match of the night. The most pointless match of the night. And that beat the tag team match we saw. And while I'll stand by saying the Titans of WWE versus the Wyatt family was pretty pointless, considering how the match ended, and further demolishes the Wyatt family and humiliates them, at least they're not at the League of Nations relegation. Thank God. Still holding out hope. Bray Wyatt says he wants to be WWE champion, but management hates him for whatever reason. No, seriously, why do they hate him? So, Curtis Axel beats R-Truth. No one cares. Moving on. Now, the main event. Yeah, I was expecting Roman Reigns to win. I was pretty much like, I didn't care. Like, I know Roman Reigns is going to win. I know Dean Ambrose is going to be the fall guy. Like, they're not going to pin Brock Lesnar. He's not ready for that yet. But what I wasn't expecting for the match to be so straightforward. Like, no swerve, no outside interference, no, oh, we need to get rid of Brock Lesnar so we can make Roman Reigns or Ambrose be the fall guy. None of that. And just like in the Chris Jericho AJ Styles match, they once again put their finishes more and more than they did previously. Roman Reigns spears Ambrose and Lesnar. Lesnar F5s. Lesnar and Ambrose does one dirty deed that no one cares about because, well, dirty deeds is not the dirty deeds that we all remember it being. It's just a Jake the Snake Roberts version of DDT, not his unique moveset that made him a little bit unique. So, I'm trying to wonder, why was this match so straightforward and clean? Like, I was expecting the Wyatt family to interfere, carry Brock Lesnar out, and then Paul Heyman comes out on the next night Raw, says, "Thou shalt not provoke the beast," and Brock Lesnar comes out to get revenge on the Wyatt family, building up to Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But no, none of that happened. Instead, it was pretty straightforward, and Michael Cole annoyed me with the whole Shades of the Shield twice! And I was like, you cannot say that line unless Seth Rollins is there. It doesn't work. You're just saying that because it's Reigns and Ambrose. The Shield is Reigns, Ambrose, and Rollins. If the Wyatt family reunited, it would just be Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt is the leader, while the Shield were just 3 guys. Bray Wyatt's the leader, and the other guys are his followers. Though Luke Harper's more talented than everyone or Braun Strowman. And the Shield were Reigns, Ambrose, and Rollins. You can't just say, Shades of the Shield, Shades of the Shield. That does not count, because Reigns and Ambrose are buddy-buddy all the time. But if Rollins showed up and they powerbombed Lesnar, then that would have been awesome. Like, that would have been awesome. That would have stolen the show right there. Like, I love the match, but it was also short for its usual timing, and really, there was no Bray Wyatt interference that involves building up to the big Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds versus the Beast. a match that I've been wanting to see for a long time now, though with the current booking, it's deflated a bit. So, what happened? Did WWE give up? Did they just, well, they don't want Braun Strowman, so we take away Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar. No one cares about them. No one cares about Braun Strowman, so we have to take away the fans' right to see this match. Since they wanted Braun Strowman versus Undertaker or Brock Lesnar, and they certainly been rumoring that Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman is going to happen at SummerSlam. Yikes. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for Fastlane. A predictable show with one bad decision, one pointless match, a pointless segment, and a very straightforward main event. No controversy, no Wyatt family, no that. It was just everything I knew it was going to be. Dean Ambrose was the fall guy. Brock Lesnar was supposed to be taken out of the equation. The Wyatt family should have attacked, and then I probably would be more memorable towards it. Like, the one thing that was memorable was Reigns getting out of the Kimura lock a bit by standing on his 2 feet, something that not even the great John Cena has done. Praise be to Cena, for the great Cena has come! Oh wait, he's still injured, no one cares. Anyways, this was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more.